Hotep, Black Power, your brother Shaka saying Cole for here today. What I want to talk to y'all about today, it's probably I'm just gonna ramble and rabble a little bit in different areas. But first of all, as always, giving honor to the Creator, the ancestors, my Queen Nzinga, daughter Kiwana, Isaac, Kayana, my mother, my brothers and sisters, and all my brothers, all my nieces and nephews, and my brothers and sisters all over the planet, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. You know, peace and Black Power and Hotep to all melanated people. And one more special Hotep and shout out to Chief of Staff for the Street Law Soldiers, Brother Harris Abdul. You know, may your energy continue to guide us and protect us and, you know, help us in through our personal journeys. I wanted to talk about some of the things that, you know, we as people engage ourselves in, such as, you've heard the phrase, you are what you eat. And a lot of things that taste good don't necessarily mean they're good for us. I'll give you an example. Well, this is coconut water, y'all. Let me give you an example or questionnaire right quick. If something that you like tastes very good is one of your favorite dishes, but if you realize that they were actually putting a good chunk of a human turd in your favorite dish, in your favorite food that you like, just because you can't taste it and it tastes the same, you don't know, you can't taste the difference or anything, it still tastes delicious to you. Subconsciously knowing that, would you still eat it? Part two of the question is, if something that is going to be nutritionally excellent for you, that can restore all the nutrients in your body and bring you back to optimum health, but it tastes foul, like you imagine how shit would taste. Okay, it's a horrible taste. It tastes like, just say it tastes like shit, but it's the best thing for you. Would you eat that? Now, if you answered no to the first one and yes to the second one, you have to be a starched, seasoned vegan. Because if you're not, you telling a goddamn lie. You telling a fucking lie. Because, let me give you an example. All the shit that we love, fried chicken, fish, shrimps, lobsters, crabs, cheeseburgers, motherfucking steak and cheese, prime rib, steaks, all the good shit, all the good things that we've grown up eating, and the things we've been eating as a delicacy, like rice pudding, bread pudding, banana pudding, chocolate cake, vanilla cake, hot apple pie, cheesecake, you know, French fries, you know, all those things that we have enjoyed eating over the years, that we enjoy eating, basically has shit in it, but we still eat it. And the things that are nutritional for us, that will bring us to optimum health, veggie boca burgers, raw fruits, raw vegetables, juicing every day, not eating the things that we've been accustomed to eating, that we enjoy eating, abstaining from all of that and taking on a whole new diet. Veggie mac and cheese, veggie barbecue twist, tofu, wheat gluten, raisin bran, oatmeal, those things that will give us optimum life. Most of us, most of us, including myself, we eat the shit that we enjoy eating. That will bring us nothing but trouble and medical issues further down the line. And for some of us, it brings it to us immediately, because we've been indulging in that bullshit for so long that, we really can't afford to be getting down with this shit no more. And I say that because, that's one of my issues too that I struggle with. I'm no pork eater or nothing like that. I'm trying to change my entire dieting regimen, and turn over a new leaf for the purpose of longevity in life, for the purpose of having a rigorous, healthy lifestyle, and like they say, you are what you eat. I truly believe that, because people who indulge, if you eat like a pig, you begin to take on features of a pig and the physical characteristics of a pig. You become far overweight and obese and things of that nature. When you take on a healthy diet, you begin to think healthy, you begin to look healthy, you begin to act healthy, you begin to walk and talk healthy. And physical health is a part of not only African culture and tradition, but African spiritual principles as well. I just wanted to drop that on you. Just drop a jewel, because when I talk to you, I'm talking to myself. So, another thing, in 1952, it was a wealthy lady in the South by the name of Ruby McCollum, who was charged with murder of killing this cracker who was raping her and doing whatever he wanted to her, and he ultimately ended up killing her. Now, they had I just recently found out about this case, because more and more cases, more and more different cases are coming up concerning our ancestors. However, there was a documentary on last night about it. I didn't get a chance to do any investigation about it, but anyone who has, or if you haven't looked into that would be an interesting story to investigate. Is the Ruby McCollum story, 1952. Once again, we're in a situation where we have to make a decision as to how we're going to conduct ourselves in terms of reconstructing or constructing, because we've never done it, constructing an economic escrow for the black community. That's the initial process of us being self-supporting. If we're going to be self-supporting, if we're going to be non-dependent on anyone else, we have to begin with an economic structure, an economic power structure. And then once we develop an economic power structure, we're able to have our own police, We're able to have our own judicial system. We're able to have our own social and human resource administration, meaning that we'll have our own jobs providing system, for all people of color, all Africans, and then one by one we'll build these communities up, and we're not gonna have another Black Wall Street, but we can use some of the patterns and some of the structures, and some of the structures that they use to develop, a totally independent town, that where it was Black owned. So, it's very important for us. Hold on 1 second, please. Yeah, I'm back. Nearly Fuller. For those who don't know, that was Francis, the late great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's mentor. She was Dr. Fuller's protege, and with Dr. Nearly Fuller, who was also from Washington, D.C., he had a book called The United Independent Compensatory Code system that dealt with the system of racism, white supremacy, where he said it was 9 categories that that consisted, that made the whole concept of white supremacy, in which the dominant society rules these 9 categories, which is economics, education, entertainment, sex, law, religion, politics, and war, and labor, and and all these 9 areas, which makes up the entire system of racism, white supremacy, because they control all 9 of those different areas. And that's the reason why we're in the position that we're in now, because they are seriously working on annihilating people of color all across the planet. Planned Parenthood is running rampant, and that's another reason why Hillary Clinton, I'm glad that she's not in office. I'm not glad that Trump is in office either. Don't get me wrong. Fuck both of them. But Hillary said she wanted to be the next Margaret Sanger. And for those who don't know who Margaret Sanger is, just do your research. She's the founder of Planned Parenthood. For these brothers who study this Darwin shit, this evolution bullshit, that claim we come from monkeys and all this, Charles Darwin, that's his theory, who was a starch motherfucking racist, and his grandson or his nephew, it was one of them, who it was either one of them, the grandson or the nephew of Charles Darwin, who was the sidekick to Margaret Sanger, into wanting to annihilate the people of color all across the planet. And that's why it's important that we do research and function off divine principles instead of emotion. In other words, emotion will just have you in the middle of the street waving the fucking gun. When you deal with principles, you begin to, educate yourself. You definitely have to study your enemy if you are to come up with a strategic plan of defense or attack, as to getting rid of your fucking enemy. You have to have a strategic plan, and that consists of intense study, intense research, and as well as infiltration. That's why I'm grateful to the brother who created the movie, The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Is a prime example of black power infiltration into the white power structure. So, I wanted to also touch on the fact that we as a people, once we rid ourselves of this materialistic mindset, it would also help us strengthen ourselves in other areas. Because I see, and like I had told y'all earlier, I'm just going from subject to subject. I'm just tossing the ball around the field right now. And I hear a lot of people always talking about people hating on them, and which may be true, yeah, but which hating is nothing but jealousy and wanting to emulate certain aspects of another individual. That's all hating is, and the core issue of hating is just low self-esteem within, and a pinch of shame, where you're too much of a coward to ask an individual, the traits that you admire in another individual. You're too cowardly to ask how to acquire those particular traits. Me personally, I never want to be exactly like another human being, because as time goes by, you'll understand. And if you're doing a lot of internal work, you'll understand that the skin that you're in is a perfect fit for you. Perfect fit for you. You understand that you're unique. There's no two people like you. And then once you understand who you are, and don't allow it to get too late, or you be gone away from here without knowing how great, how thorough, how powerful, you could have been if you had to just spent the time doing some internal work, because all of us have spent time in those areas of dealing with low self-esteem, because, wishing you was in other people's positions and things of that nature, whether it's economically, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, morally, or whatever, But if you take that energy and put it within yourself and see the God that's in you, the goodness that's in you, without allowing other people to dictate, how you should be and what will be comfortable for them, if you would change, something about yourself that you're comfortable with about you, you'll see that you are a bad motherfucker. And like I always tell our people, we the original motherfucking people. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Go into you. Dig into the, go and get the best that's in you. Let the greatest that's in you shine. Stand straight up. You'll see that you are a warrior. You'll see that you're a king, a queen, a god, a goddess. You'll see that you are everything that you've been searching for is already there. If you listen to a certain music, from the 70s and early 80s, explains all that. With Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Stevie Wonder. If you got into that certain songs, they tell you how to look into yourself. Frankie Beverly, the golden time of day. When you reach your peak and your God self. But you have to. The only person that can make that happen is you. And you gotta. And once you see how bad you are and how strong and how tall, how you stand tall, and look good and feel good, don't judge none of that to someone else's taste. They're not satisfied with you. Move on, because that's one thing you can always satisfy a god or a goddess, but one thing you can never satisfy is a nigga. You may not understand what I'm saying or how I'm saying it right now, but that's one thing you can never satisfy is a nigga. You can always satisfy a god and goddess by just being yourself, because when someone else is in their goddess self, they're able to admire and adore the god and goddess that they see outside themselves, especially if it's their other half, their significant other, or their king or their queen. But when somebody's not in that mode and they're not functioning on that frequency, then they it's just you just on a whole nother shit, some nigga shit. And then you start measuring things. Like I see lot of unhealthy spirited queens. They always talk about what they want out of a brother, and it has nothing to do with the essence of himself, nothing to do with his God essence. It's everything except that. He has to have a dick running all the way down his leg. He has to have half European hair. He has to be mulatto and all this shit, and have to have plenty of money and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Which these things are the things that they're looking for are the defects that they have within themselves. The reason why you want somebody with a penis all the way down their leg, because you have been sexed by so many people and oversexed so much where your womb is so polluted and out of shape, that it takes a broomstick to really give you any type of feeling, because you're not functioning on a God frequency. You're not functioning on a spiritual frequency. You're functioning on a nigga frequency. And in that area, you're functioning on a porno frequency. And that type of, and you can never fulfill those areas like that. You can never fulfill that. And I've seen brothers, lose their minds trying to, please queens in those areas, and vice versa. I've seen queens lose their mind trying to please these old ungrateful monkey ass niggas. You got a lot of brothers that they want a queen that look like Beyonce and all this old shit. They gotta be shaped this way and this way. They're never looking at the essence of a person. The greatness, the God greatness of a queen. Because they don't know what a queen is. Because they don't know what a king is, because they don't know who they are. It's much deeper than you can fathom. But for those who are totally clear, you understand exactly what I'm saying. So just something to something to let that marinate in you, to help you become a better person. Don't allow any shortcomings that you have to overshadow, the goodness in you, where it dims your morale. Don't allow that to take place. Not any longer, not anymore. And the reason, like I always tell y'all, the reason that I'm able to break this down to y'all is based on experience. It ain't based on no emotion. It ain't based on nothing I heard. It ain't based on nothing I saw. It's based on pure experience that I had to learn on my own. A lot of us, you have to be your own teacher. Because I've been in places where, I had to literally bring myself into manhood on my own. And I know how it is to be hated on, the jealousy. Especially I'll just share this with you about prison experience. I've had, I'm the only brother, male in the family that has ever done time, and I've done a significant amount of time. However, I didn't understand it at first. When I came home, I hear these jail jokes and, all this sex play and all this type of shit. I didn't understand it at first. But then when I became totally conscious, I realized that it wasn't me. It had nothing to do with me. It was the fact that I had family members. That was their way of dealing. Instead of giving me honors and giving me my due prop, they were too ashamed of that. So they would make jokes because deep down inside they know that they couldn't do a day in prison. And see, what they think would happen to them, they think that happens to everybody. And it's not like that. See, first thing, people that are uneducated and that are cowards, that are scared, first thing they think of jail, they lose their ass. Because that's what they think will happen to them. Because that's the cowardness and fear in them. Fear the unknown. Because see, they never had their manhood challenged or checked. Because they have always had titties to suck on. Always had excuse my language, a pussy to lay up under, and act like a motherfucking feline. And never gravitated to the Asar energy, where you've been in a situation where you had to either get down or lay down. They've never had those type of situations, not even in the streets, because they're not street niggas either. You see what I'm saying? So the whole time they really admired me, especially now, they understand now, and see, now that I'm conscious, I can see right through them, and they know I can see right through them. And see, that's why I say, never, be careful of what you say out your motherfucking mouth. Be careful what you laugh at. That's what I tell people all the time. Because the same thing make your ass laugh will make your ass cry. They've had, and like I said, I'm not mentioning no names or anything, but I've seen family members have devastating relationships, just literally being walked over by bed wenches, which they call their significant others, because you cannot, if you take a shit turd and put a dress on it, and a bolt, and put a ribbon on the top of the shit turd, and put some heels and pumps on the shit turd, and put a Bible in the shit turd's hand, it's still a piece of shit. No matter how you fix it. No matter how you fix it. You can't turn shit into a salad. It's just simple as that. And and that's one of the advantages. Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. I forgot where I was at with the thinking and the relationships and fixing the once again, if you cannot turn shit into a salad. You know what I'm saying? And I say these things because like I had told y'all, in order for me to pass on information, I reveal myself. Like I said, when I talk to y'all, I'm talking to me. And I'm not bragging, I'm not blowing smoke or anything, but I've been, fortunate by having the DNA. And let me repeat this, by having the DNA, from my mother and my father, because I always gravitated and walked with that a SAR energy, you know. But we have to have that balance. We already know that, However, I've been blessed where I was never challenged in no sexual areas and all that shit in prison, And like I told y'all a long time ago, out of 100 men in prison, you may have like 3 or 4, that engages in that type of bullshit. The majority of the brothers are trying to program or trying to, do some positive shit. So the goal is to get out the motherfucker. So the majority of the brothers don't have time for that. And you got different percentages. You got serious brothers, you got brothers that's into exercise, you got brothers that's into other shit, you got brothers that gamble, watch TV all day, stay in their cells, stay locked in, you got brothers that run around, you got brothers that fight, and you got the majority of the brothers that's programming, in the library, studying case law, trying to give their time back on their own because they've been misrepresented and railroaded by a public pretender, which we call public defender, and because the majority of the brothers in there are over sentenced, you got brothers in there doing fucking 10 years for a goddamn $10 fucking rock, and then yet you got niggas out here, crackers don't even really go to jail, because their judges are their parents and uncles and all this shit, and then the blacks that don't go to jail are entertainers and athletes, and they buy their way, they pay their way through, those are the ones, if they are compliant, if they've been good niggas and done everything the white Jew boy has told them to do, then they get a break. But the conscious brothers, regardless of whether they paid or not, whether they're famous or not, they're going in. Because they're considered rebellious, revolutionaries. Like I said, and a good thing, it's a blessing. Prison preserves you if you do the right thing in there. It preserved me. I still have a basically youthful look. I'm not out here engaging in a whole bunch of overindulging in a whole bunch of dangerous shit. I don't drink or smoke, so that's a plus. Even though I've been there, the Creator knows I done been there and back. But I'm just dropping it. I'm just dropping these jewels on y'all, cause if somebody may be going through this, some family member or some brother may be just coming home, just hated on and misunderstood, or maybe struggling, trying to find themselves, or a sister, cause we got almost 1 million queens, behind enemy lines today, so, this shit is based on skin color. Like I told y'all, we've been in war forever. We had to learn this. We have to start fighting back. This is the only generation on record that has not revolted, against oppression from the motherfucking slave master. This is the only generation that has refused to fight back. And that's a hell of a thing. And I really am ashamed to go down in history as being part of that generation that didn't fight. And that's why I stand up today and I do what I do. I commit myself because, number one, I love my people. I love my people. I love them enough that I would fight for them. I would lay my life out for my daughters, my grandchildren, my mother, and I got that from my father, May he rest in power. And and a lot of the brothers that have made their ascensions, that have taught me a great deal about a lot of shit. Like, the street niggas that I roll with, what I'm saying? The brothers in the penitentiary, what I'm saying? And the brothers that function out here on a scholarly level. The conscious brothers, I learned that I gravitate to all of that. And that's why I say, if you really want to, get into the essence of yourself and reach that God level, that's all you got to do, man. Open your mind up. Open your mind, open your heart up. Study. I've read hundreds of books. I just didn't wake up, and decided last week that I wanted to be a revolutionary or a freedom fighter. No, I've been doing this shit for nearly 30 years. And it's been so much work put in by our predecessors that have passed on, that consciousness is almost just as easy as purchasing a DVD. You basically can get the Hidden Color series 1, 2, 3, and 4 and kind of be on point, in terms of your level of consciousness and your portion of understanding. And that comes from the pioneers, the predecessors, the people who put the work in, that have moved on, that have committed their lives and given their lives to the struggle and to the liberation of black people. So, once again, stand up, be who you are. Be proud of the skin that you're in, because you only get one round in this realm, and I'm gonna get back with y'all probably in the morning. It's time to do the libation warrior call to the ancestors, the ancestral roll call. So, excuse me, be looking forward to that. And I'll see y'all in a few more hours. Peace, Black Power.